Well. We got to take a little trip back to Minnesota and the Leering Center. All right. I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes a little later, but I got a couple clips I want to show you beforehand, including this clip from a guy by the name of Nick Peterson in his Leering Center commercial. I'm sure you guys remember the Leering Center. It is the center that Nick Shirley exposed. This place, yeah. You guys remember that. We're going to get to that clip here in a second. But I want to play this commercial that obviously it's a joke. It's not a genuine commercial from the Leering Center, but check it out.
Imagine your child leering math right here. Or perhaps leering science over here. Or leering the future language of Minnesota. Well, imagine no more. Welcome to the Quality Leering Center. At the Quality Leering Center, we strive for greatness, not only for your child, but more importantly, for our luxurious lifestyles, our terrorist friends overseas, and Democrat politicians right here in the U.S. To achieve that greatness, we follow the 5 fundamental tenets to success. Fabricate everything, receive government funds, act the victim, undermine the opposition, and deny, distract, demonize. All of our dedicated teachers are former Somalian pirates, so you can be sure your child is in good hands with someone whose IQ is equivalent to a school zone speed limit. Speaking of pirates, Democrats, members of Congress, and even Governor Walz fully support our business operations. Rest assured, absolutely no one will be held accountable. They don't just turn a blind eye for the sake of money. They crank their head 180 degrees and jam it up their own butt. At the Quality Leering Center, we recognize there have been an abundance of fraud scandals, coincidentally, right here in Minnesota, also involving billions in government funding and also run by Somalians. Therefore, to solidify your trust, we promise to lear from their mistakes and ensure your tax dollars reach the right hands in Somalia. Your toothpaste may not make it through TSA, but $700 million in cash, we can make that happen. Now, you might be wondering, I thought this was a daycare. What about the kids? That's all just politics. Now you're getting it. We know that you have plenty of options here in Minneapolis, but while other daycares receiving government funding are only open for 15 minutes a day, we're open for over 45 minutes Tuesday through Wednesday. And if that's not enough, here's some 5-star reviews from happy customers. Thanks, John Smith. Hey, if you're in the neighborhood, don't bother stopping by. And if you have any questions, please ask yourself this first. What happened to those who questioned Tim Walz's agenda in the past? For more information, please visit yourqualitylearingcenter.com. The Quality Leering Center. Leering made fun.
Leering made fun. We had references available, but someone broke in and stole them. Now you understand why I wanted to show y'all that? Oh man, obviously with the someone broke in and stole them, he's referencing that other daycare. I don't believe it was the Leering Center. I think it was a different Somalian run daycare where the guy came out and said somebody broke in and they stole like the records. As if somebody's people break into daycares and steal child records. Like, come on now, bro. Oh man. Anyway, let's double back to what the Leering Center was and check out what Nick Shirley had to say. Check it out.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. If you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working midday. children should be in here, and this place is licensed for 99 children, and this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing, and like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning right.
Man, couldn't even spell learning right on the front of the thing. Crazy work, crazy work. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with, allegedly, I gotta say allegedly, how some of all of this stuff was working, here's a little explanation on how they were allegedly pulling some of this stuff off with these daycares. Check it out.
Order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either way, the center would bill the state for a full day of child care. This video from that same case shows a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going?
I don't know exactly where it went, but it...
Order for...
Crazy, crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. My goodness. My goodness. Now, I want to play this clip from this young lady on the fraud and the data involved in all of this, because she kind of really breaks it down here into a way that makes it obvious that something was most definitely going on here. Check it out.
The Math Ain't Mathin', Part 2. Today we're going to be focusing on the ABC Learning Center license number 1095850. This is located in Hennepin County, and they are licensed for 40 children. That means that's the maximum amount of children that the state will allow them to have in their facility. Year 2025, this particular facility received $1,042,000 and some change from the state for the state subsidy money. That's tuition money only. The numbers that I'm going to talk about are in a hypothetical situation stating that their facility is maxed out with 40 children at all times, that every single one of those children that are attending that facility are receiving 100% state subsidy money is also pretty rare. Using that data, the maximum amount that they would receive at their center would be around $908,000 per year. And again, the data shows that they received $1,042,000 in the year 2025, and then in the year 2024 it was over $1 million as well. And like I said, all of these numbers are assuming that every single one of the kids has 100% subsidy, which again, it doesn't happen that often at all. My facility is in a Title I zone, which is a low income zone, meaning elementary school will serve like a free and reduced lunch to the entire population of that school. That's how low income it is. And last year, 2025, I went and looked at our numbers. We received $72,000 in tuition assistance. So our facility is double the size. We're in a different state, but these are typically federal funds that are trickling down to the state, that are trickling down to the centers. And we only received $72,000 in state subsidy money. And they received over $1 million. So it just really makes you think, you guys. Like, I just want you to challenge what you see, do your own research, do your own thinking. Like, does this look right to you? Because it doesn't look right to me. This is our tax money. This is our money coming from our pockets, our hard-earned cash. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to play that, because she really broke the numbers down, and like she said, the math ain't mathing here. The numbers ain't adding up. Something is off here. Why are y'all getting so much money? Because even if I gave you the benefit of the doubt, the numbers still wouldn't add up to what it is that you're getting. You're getting even more than that. So what is going on here? And so that leads me to the meat and potatoes of this all, and that is this report here, where, as you guys can see at the top of your screen, Minnesota's infamous Quality Learning Center is now closed. Records show they're officially closed. For business. Quality Learning Center, the shady Minnesota daycare at the center of the state's mushrooming fraud scandal, shuttered for good this week, according to records. The much ridiculed daycare, which operated under a misspelled sign until it was fixed last month amid national outrage, closed Tuesday after it requested a closure of its license, according to the Minnesota Department of Human Services and the State Department of Children, Youth, and Families. The center found itself under the national spotlight after conservative YouTuber Nick Shirley featured the facility in a video highlighting the daycare centers in the state that were allegedly receiving public funds but were not providing any services. So yeah, the Leering Center is apparently now shut down. They closed. Vanished. And here is actually a video of the U-Haul outside of there.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Look.
Yeah, so apparently they were moving out some stuff, putting it in the U-Haul, and getting up out of there. They even took the sign down. I had a picture of the building. Here we go. They even took the sign down. No more Leering Center up there now. They are officially closed, ladies and gentlemen. Closed. Kind of interesting. I think we were on the right track with this. And what I think is happening is exactly what I had said previously, and that is there is fraud from the top down. Everybody knows about the fraud. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't something that, ooh, we just discovered this. Like, no, they're all in cahoots. And the money is going there in exorbitant amount because people are taking their cuts. At least to me, that's common sense, right? Because my understanding of daycares is that daycares have to be checked, right? They have to have somebody come in, check them out, make sure they're up to snuff, make sure they're up to date, make sure any new rules or regulations are being, adhered to. And if not, you got to shut down a daycare, you got to fix them, and then we got to come back and check, right? And so if that is the case, and you're going into these daycares on a regular basis, because they're supposed to drop by randomly, as far as my understanding goes, they're supposed to drop by randomly, and you're not seeing any kids every time that you're coming by, you look up at the sign, the learning is spelled wrong, right? The records aren't even there. Somebody would have raised a red flag, but to me, it screams, oh, somebody checked it out. This is the way that I assume it went. One of the individuals that was supposed to go to these locations and check out the daycare, so you guys can let me know if you think I'm on the right path or how you think this all played out. One of the individuals that's supposed to check these daycares out, right, on a regular basis, randomly showing up, did that. They reported back to their superior and said there's most definitely fraud going on here. The superior started looking into it, was like, oh, there's a lot of fraud going on here, and it's obvious. Who runs that place? Who's the owner of that daycare? Oh, Somalians. They run that other place too that you just told me about that the fraud was at too, right? Those are Somalians too. Oh, I got to tell my superior now. And it climbs up the chain. Now everybody knows that the Somalians are here doing some fraud. Well, what are we gonna do? We can't call the Somalians out. Like that's racist. We can't do that to them. Let's just talk to them. We'll let them know we know what you're doing, and we'll keep it on the hush. But you better make some donations to us. You better make some donations to the Democrat Party. That's the way that I assume it went. I don't know that with 100% certainty, but that's the way it makes sense to me, because there's no way that they did not know about this. There's no way. No way. These daycares are supposed to be checked on. So you can't tell me you didn't know, But that's just my opinion on it. Get in the comments and let me know yours, all right? Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.